It was a success, huge success, your biggest commercial success in your career. Have you ever thought about what was the secret of it?
What?
The secret of its success, have you ever thought about it?
Well, I think Andy would agree with me with this, but I think that movies, for a movie to work and to be as successful as Basic was, there was a French magazine, incidentally, that picked Basic as the big event of 1992. Not movie event, but that's the French. The big event. This movie, right, is the biggest event on the globe in 1992. I think everything has to come together for it to really work, right? You know, I was pleased with my script, but Paul's direction was superb. Michael was the rock that the movie was built on. Sharon, I thought, was astoundingly good. Not just that one particular scene that Verhoeven came up with, you know, but all kinds of other ways. And, you know, the production values were terrific. You know, and all of it, the music, the production values, and I know you guys worked very hard to do that. It just all came together, and it worked, you know. So there are movies where everything goes to shit, right? And you can't figure that in advance, and it just doesn't work in any way.
Has anyone requested you to write a sequel to it?
Well, there was a sequel. There was a sequel made, but it was without. I wanted a certain amount of money to do the sequel, and MGM, even though it had made this movie was so successful, assigned a new executive to it, and I think they wanted to really avoid me because they wanted to do a movie that wasn't as threatening as Basic was to some people, and they ultimately did, and it really disastrous. It was a very bad movie. Thank you. Well, you noticed I said MGM. I didn't, you know.
Actually,
by the way, Joe is
Give me
right.
my pages back. Well, right.
By the way, Joe is right, because that movie, the screenplay never really was there. We were crazy to do it, and I think by that time Warren and I got back together and we wanted to do a sequel. And Paul wasn't sure that he wanted to direct it. Sharon wasn't sure that she wanted to star in it. Michael, of course, didn't want to do it at all. So it was a big gamble for us to put a screenplay together that nobody wants to do. And they're right, they shouldn't have done it. But then there was a huge argument between Sharon and Paul. Paul was going to do it, but then Sharon didn't want Paul to do it because of that scene that they claim that Sharon knew nothing about, that Paul just stuck the camera on the floor and surprised her. In fact,
What about the lighting, though? What about the lighting?
The lighting, what about the idea of she came down to the set that morning with her underpants on her finger and threw it in Paul's face? So I think...
I thought we were going to tell these kinds of stories.
Hey, we might as well. So I think there was, I don't know, there was a lot of discontent between everybody, and it was very difficult to put it together, and we should have never done it. But we did, we tried, and I agree, it was a terrible disaster. Not so much financially, because I think it made money, but certainly as a movie, it sucked.
And you know, it is the answer to your question. As everything came together well on Basic Instinct, everything seemed to go very badly on Basic Instinct too, and the movie didn't work. It happens. You never know. You know, I mean, you just don't know.